Alabama has a storied history of producing high-level running backs with guys such as Derrick Henry, Damian Harris, Josh Jacobs, TJ Yeldon, Mark Ingram, Eddie Lacy, and Trent Richardson, just to name a few. Bo Scarbrough was the #1 running back by some people coming out of high school, and he had the same expectations. Sadly, things never quite worked out for Bo at Alabama, and after a brief stint in the NFL so far, it looks like his career is slowly coming to an end. But besides one obvious reason, I think there's an underlying goal that has held him back on the football field, and I actually believe it to be a good thing for him. Today we'll talk about the rise and fall of Bo Scarbrough, what he is up to now, and why I think his NFL career didn't turn out like most people thought it would. But first, if you love college football, be sure to subscribe. Help me reach 25,000 subscribers by the end of December. If you want to help the channel grow, be sure to give the video a like, share it with your friends, comment your thoughts, suggest a future video topic, and stay until the end. Now let's get started and talk about what happened to Bo Scarbrough. Let's go back in time and see how Bo became a high school prodigy to begin with. Scarbrough grew up in West Alabama, more specifically in Greene County, the least populated county in the state, believe it or not. Growing up, he was a big Oklahoma fan because he loved the style of running back Adrian Peterson. His mother even said that he had an Oklahoma jacket that he'd wear from time to time. He eventually moved to Tuscaloosa, and as early as 8th grade, coaches knew he was going to be a special player. His coach actually started him out as a wide receiver as a freshman, and then they used him on defense at safety before going all in on him playing running back. He'd gotten on the Crimson Tide's radar at that point, and he was becoming a big-time recruit. As a senior, he had transferred to IMG Academy and rushed for 1,468 yards and 20 touchdowns in 10 games, and left high school with some recruiting services saying he was the best running back in the country, and some even said he was the best athlete in the nation. Funny enough, his name actually isn't Bo. That was a nickname that he was given, and here's how it came to be. His father was actually a star high school running back, and his friends would call him Calbo. Once Scarbrough started to become a big-time football player on the football field, they would call him Little Calbo, and eventually it was just shortened to Bo. No one actually knows his name, so I guess it'll be our best guess what it is. He was still arguably the top running back in the country, but he would struggle to stay on the field, and it would not help him in college. As a freshman in high school, he suffered a broken ankle. The next year, he tore his ACL. As a junior, he had a high ankle sprain, and then he hurt his ACL going into college. But Bo had a spectacular way of handling injuries. He said, quote, "You just have to overcome adversity, and you just have to believe that everything happens for a reason. Maybe I was moving too fast, and it was God's plan to slow down in some type of way. You just have to take responsibility and handle adversity. I don't think God would give you anything that you couldn't handle." In terms of recruiting, he was a very loyal kid, as he verbally committed to Alabama in 2012 and remained committed to the Tide until National Signing Day in 2014. He had held 18 offers, including the likes of Clemson, Florida State, and Michigan. According to 24/7 Sports, Bo was a 5-star recruit, the #2 athlete, and the 16th best player in the class of 2014. He was pegged to be the next great Alabama running back and follow in the footsteps of Derrick Henry and Mark Ingram. When he came back to Tuscaloosa, he decided to redshirt, as he would need surgery to repair that ACL. As a redshirt freshman, Derrick Henry was a superstar for the team, but everyone saw Bo as the next man up. There were some bumps and bruises he had as a redshirt freshman, but he did flash some potential. On 18 carries, he had 104 yards and a touchdown, and kind of opened the eyes of the people around the program. Going into his sophomore year, he was projected to be a starter, but he actually lost the job to Damian Harris. Bo was not that good of a pass blocker, and he really didn't impress when he got the ball. During his first 6 games of the season, he failed to break 60 yards in a game and only had double-digit carries once. He broke out for 109 yards and a touchdown against Tennessee, but he went back to kind of being disappointing the next few weeks and then was out with injury for 2 weeks. It must have affected him deeply because he came out on a mission in the Iron Bowl as he rushed for 90 yards against the Tigers. A week later in the SEC Championship game, Bo went for 91 yards and 2 touchdowns. He had the best game of his career to this point against Washington, as he had 180 yards and 2 touchdowns against Washington in the Peach Bowl of the college football playoff, and he had all the second half points for the Tide. He would have 93 yards and 2 more touchdowns against Clemson in the title game, but that would get completely overshadowed as they lost by way of Hunter Renfrow's game-winning touchdown catch. As a sophomore, he had broken out by the end of it and finished with 812 yards and 11 touchdowns. People were saying he was going to have a monster junior year, and I mean they had a good reason for it. Damian Harris would have a big season in 2017, and Bo saw himself become the 3rd best runner on the team, behind Damian and quarterback Jalen Hurts. Bo never went for more than 100 yards in his redshirt junior year, and he kind of became a forgotten name. He only got 10-plus carries 6 times on the season, and he finished with 596 yards and 8 touchdowns, in what many would say was probably a disappointing year. After careful consideration, he decided to enter the 2018 NFL Draft, but he still planned on going back to school and graduating. A lot of people knew his potential, but the stats and what he had done in college just didn't make him worthy of a high round pick, so he had to wait all the way until the 7th round to be taken by the Dallas Cowboys. But as Bo always did, he remained positive and had this to say: "You can't get discouraged. The draft is gone. You can't talk about what has already happened." He never saw a snap in 2018 as he bounced around from practice squads and waited for a chance. He went back to IMG Academy to train and eventually got a call from the Detroit Lions. He made the practice squad, was bumped up to the 53-man roster, and actually got a chance to start 5 games. He showed some flash, as in the 2019 season, he appeared in 6 games, starting 5, while recording 377 rushing yards and a rushing touchdown. Many thought he had shown enough flash to keep him on the roster, but with Kerryon Johnson and drafting DeAndre Swift, he wasn't likely going to be a long-term option. Going into this year, he was listed to be on IR and was eventually waived in October. In 2019, he was signed to the Seattle Seahawks practice squad this year, but he's been out for the year with a torn hamstring, and he most recently had surgery. I don't know if he'll ever get another real shot in the NFL, but I don't think it really matters. After the NFL, Bo wants to someday work in the criminal justice system, and he has his eyes on the FBI. So if football doesn't work out, we all know he will be successful in other areas, and with his mindset, I know he's not going to fail, and he's going to make the most of what he is given. So why did he fail to live up to the unbelievable hype coming out of high school? Well, first, I think the hype was a little bit too much, as he was just an insane athlete, and he also had a lot of injury issues, and because he was going to Alabama, people just expected him to be a big thing. But there are 2 main reasons why I think he ultimately didn't live up to it. The one major one is that he got hurt so many times. He got injured 3 times in high school, and has gotten injured twice in the NFL so far. So he has not been able to stay healthy at all. He's had to rehab a ton, and he has probably lost some of his explosiveness and his drive. And that's my second point. I don't think his heart is fully in the game of football. I may be wrong, but he is a strong man of faith, has shown he has other dreams outside of football, and after all that rehabbing and grueling injury return, he may just be ready to start a new chapter of his life, and because he's so optimistic and trusts the process, he may see his life going down another avenue that's no longer on the football field. And there's nothing wrong with that, and that's all we can wish for him. I liked Bo a lot at Alabama, and it was cool to see him have a fun stint with the Lions for a little while. But at the end of the day, we just want Bo to be living his best life, enjoy what he's doing, and do what he's called to do. So I would definitely not call him a bust, as he did contribute at Alabama, had some moments in the NFL, and most importantly is doing life the right way. You can't knock on anyone for doing that, and I wish Bo the best of luck with whatever he does, and hopefully someday we'll see him in the FBI. What do you guys think though? If you're an Alabama fan or a Lions fan, let me know what you think of Bo down in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts, and let me know who I should do next down in the comment section as well. If you want to support the video and support Bo, give the video a like, share it with your friends, and check out all my other videos, including the inspiring story of Josh Jacobs. I hope to see you guys again soon, but until next time, peace.